I remember playing the demo of PT a while back on my cousin's PlayStation, and I couldn't wait until it released. This game by itself actually made me regret getting an Xbox One and considered getting a PS4 instead. Luckily and unluckily, I didn't need to get a PS4 as it was cancelled. But luckily we have MADiSON. Fans of PT and Resident Evil will really enjoy this game, and from the start I was instantly immersed into the atmosphere. This, just like Postal Brain Damaged, completely caught me off guard. If you care about spoilers for the opening scene, skip ahead to this time of the video, but I just want to paint the picture for what I feel makes the start of this game so spectacular and gripping. After the loading scene, there is no cutscene or explanation for what's going on. You instantly wake up, locked in a dark room. Both of your hands are covered with blood. There's someone banging loudly on the door, crying and screaming at you. On the verge of insanity, it seems like. The man screams something like, "The fuck is happening to you? What the hell crossed your mind?" Then you find photos you have in your possession of a severed arm and a severed leg. Then when you find a hammer to escape from this man who's still banging on the door, he says, "You are not my son," and you escape through a narrow passageway to progress through the rest of the story. What a fucking opening. I barely focus on introductions to games, but there's so much story building already going on. Who took these photos? Whose limbs are these? Where am I heading, or where was I before this? But mostly, am I the bad guy? I feel like I need to state that the dad, although you don't see him behind the door, really nailed the voice acting on this one. It truly sounded like he was in a great deal of pain and made you want to get the fuck out of there before he gets in. This is exactly what a horror game should strive to do more often than not. Paint the picture in an entirely visual and audible way and throw you right into the thrill from the opening. So, that's out of the way, and with that out of the way, there are definitely other great things I want to move on to that stands tall in this game. However, that doesn't mean it's perfect. There are some pretty big downfalls that I can't ignore. One of the biggest compliments I could give this game is how it looks and sounds. Damn, this game looks good. The textures are great, the lighting is great, and the map design just looks and feels fucking amazing. I was really surprised to see this level of clarity from an indie developer. From the start of the game until the end, it was visually orgasmic. The sound design was superb and extremely immersive. Although there was a few loops that got repetitive towards the end, the audio was indeed a spook fest. The creaky doors in the distance was a big standout. Even though this was present throughout my whole playthrough, it never failed to catch me off guard. The puzzles were fun and unique. In a world where it seems like every single puzzle that could be created has already been done in another game, this game manages to throw some difficult yet unique ones your way. Some definitely can be tedious, and one in particular was just downright confusing. Even after I completed it, I still didn't know exactly what I did or how I did it. But they will definitely challenge you. If you like collectibles as well, there are some great collectibles in this game, such as red Polaroids you can find stuck on walls or on the floor or roof in any given area to snap a pic of, which burns after the flash, very satisfyingly. The main takeaway of this adventure is definitely the adventure itself. The story is gripping, and there's a lot of side plots that you get interested in as well. There are voice recordings you can listen to, flashbacks of time period changes, and notes that I actually found myself captivated by. And yes, another big plus is the scare factor. Who the fuck could forget about that? Ah! 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 Fucking bitch! I'd normally knock a game for cheap jump scares, but fuck it, these ones were so fucking good. I can't knock them if they always catch me off guard and happen in an unpredictable way. Even when I was somewhat expecting them. Right as I started to let down my guard, bang! Got me. Fucking got me again. The combination of adrenaline, constantly running through my body, while still wanting to progress forward and being gripped to a compelling story, is what makes any horror game an awesome one. Now, while I still believe this is indeed an awesome game, there is one major complaint I have. Of course, this is subjective, but this is something that drastically changed my experience. The voiced protagonist. Voice protagonists, more particularly in first-person horror games, already is a very hard one to properly do, and personally, I'd keep it very minimalist. But this fucking guy was like Ethan Winters, but as a teenager, and yarsified. Not only was he Captain Obvious 24/7, but his voice was painfully annoying. There were times where you were in these tense moments, and it'd say something like, "Oh, it's really dark.
There are handprints on the walls."
Okay, this voice actor's really giving me the shits now.
What am I doing? God,
Shut the fuck up!
this goes down really deep.
Shut the fuck, dude! And it would just break all my immersion and make me facepalm. Why? Why tarnish such a good game with an annoying voice actor and bad writing for him as well? The story and script for the main part was spectacular, but for whatever reason it feels like when it came to the protagonist, they literally stole the Resident Evil 8 scriptwriter for Ethan Winters and gave them a bad combination of drugs. This is what I feel like is the game's biggest downfall, but there's also other cons that this game faces. Another major one is the space in your inventory. You get a storage box you can put stuff in, similar to Resident Evil, but you can only carry 8 items at a time. And when you're progressing, you're not sure A, what items you need, or B, how many items you're going to pick up.
I'm carrying too much already.
Oh, fuck. Wait, if I'm carrying too much, can I just, like, chuck something away that I don't need? This is a broken shovel. I don't need this shit. Okay, I think I've got to use that, storage place to, like, store the shovel, because that shovel's, like, completely fucking pointless now. Man, there's a lot of back and forth in this game, not gonna lie. And this shit makes it take too long, man. I'm used to neon white, fast gameplay. I want to get there in 12 seconds, get a ruby. This means you can end up in an area only to realize you can't carry an essential item, which leads you to run all the way back to the storage, then choose which item you guess you don't need, then walk all the way back. This happened way too many times during my playthrough, and it was just outright irritating, especially since at one point I had a broken shovel that was fucking useless. But I couldn't just drop it. I needed to walk back and forth just for a small item. Those are the big complaints out of the way, but there are other small things that could have been done better in this game. It took me a while to get used to the feel of this game because you have this weird sway to your camera, like you're aiming down a sniper in Call of Duty and you just ran out of breath. I'm not joking. Not only that, but you move very slow as well. It's honestly like this guy's drunk or something throughout the whole thing. For the most part, you can't run at all, and there aren't many areas you can run, but there are certain points that trigger running, and when you can run, it spoils the fact that there's a chase scene about to happen. This is definitely an immersion breaker. Now, puzzles were definitely a big plus to this game, however some can take a while to do, and during this time, the horror aspect definitely loses momentum. This personal con is definitely subjective though. And look, although I just talked for quite a while about the things I disliked, don't let that completely change your mind. I definitely still very much enjoyed it, and dare I say, more than The Quarry, which surprised me. It won't take too long to complete if you do everything efficiently, and while some people say that it takes about 4 hours to complete, I definitely say that it's no less than 6 if you're like an everyday gamer. This is okay, it's not bad, but I definitely wanted more. There are many things that make this game amazing, but the biggest one is definitely something I really don't want to spoil at all. It's probably one of the most iconic horror sections in video game history. I fucking said it, and and if you've played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, so don't deny it. With all that said, I'm going to give this game a solid 8 out of 10. It does pain me to say this, but it could have been a 10. If there were some changes made, it definitely would have, such as making it just a little bit longer, having a less annoying voice protagonist, and also having a more consistent momentum of horror. But for the price, I reckon it's entirely justifiable, and it's a wild ride you won't forget. I definitely recommend this game if you were a fan of PT or you just like horror games in general. But if you want to wait for a sale, that's all up to you as well. This is just all my opinion, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. My name is Moldy Fish Sticks. Hope you have a great day. And as always, stay safe, stay sexy, stay humble. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Suck your nipple.